Politicians session at the Muslim Alliance of Indiana's convention. We have here Todd Rokita, the Secretary of State, and Sheriff Dominguez from Lake County. If I could ask you gentlemen to please just say a couple words about yourself, and then we'll let each of you make a presentation.
Okay, thank you. Well, it's an honor to be here at the annual conference. As Indiana's Secretary of State, I have had the opportunity to travel to each one of Indiana's 92 counties every year. So I've driven with the help of folks at my office like Alex and others. We usually drive about 45,000 miles a year without leaving the state of Indiana. And from that perch, I can say that Indiana is one of the most diverse places, I think, on this planet. We don't have a reputation for that, but I think, and I'm sure the sheriff would agree, we're in public office. You're here on a Saturday afternoon listening to guys like us talk because leadership can change that perception. And so it's going to be up to all of us. I take a small liberty in speaking just briefly on behalf of the sheriff because he and I are from the same county. We're both from Northwest Indiana. And as a Republican, I had to run statewide to get elected to anything. The sheriff, being from the other party, usually doesn't have that problem.
But both of you are Bears fan or Colts fan?
We're actually good friends, actually. I'll jump on that first. I've been
Colts fan. Colts fan?
Oh, Colts fans or close friends?
Colts.
Excuse me. I thought you asked if we were close friends. I was ready to say we are. You know,
I would ditto that. I would agree.
Are you a Colts fan?
Yeah, not dodging the question. I will tell you that.
You're trying to get the Bears votes.
One of
Get up there both sides.
the question on the floor is, am I a Colts fan or Bears fan? And as Secretary of State, I will tell you, when the Colts played the Bears in the Super Bowl, that's one of the questions I got asked most as Secretary of State. I mean, more than photo ID, more than redistricting that we're briefly going to talk to you about, more than any other issue that, of course, I wanted to know, I was a Colts or Bears fan. And to tell you what a bad politician I am, if you're going to use that word
So
for
you
it.
haven't answered the question.
I said,
Our Secretary of State's also a lawyer. Tendency to go on.
I said I was a Bears fan in
There
Indianapolis.
you go.
I'm not, like I said, I'm not a very smart politician, but that was the honest answer. I grew up a Bears fan, and then I followed up with, well, Indiana can't lose that time, right? Colts or Bears, we can't lose. We're going to do well. So I have an issue briefing to give you today. I can talk about anything you want. I'm happy to do that. We can talk about elections, which I administer in my office. We can talk about securities, regulation of stockbrokers and their products, mortgage brokers. I even regulate car dealers here in the state. So your top 3 investments I regulate: your portfolio, your home, and your car. Usually that's folks' top 3 investments. And so I'm happy to talk about all those things. I have 300,000 businesses that register with my office and that we look after. In that sense, you know how we all have birth certificates? Well, I issue birth certificates for companies and then keep the company's vital statistics hopefully throughout their long life. So that's another part of our office. So I'll talk to you about all that if you'd like. But the issue briefing I want to talk about is rethinking redistricting. Bring competition to our legislative districts so that the people have more of a voice. Indiana's the Wild West when it comes to how we redistrict, how we apportion ourselves among legislative districts at the federal and state level. And I used to think that all states were like that, but they're really not. We are the Wild West. We can bring that in for a landing. We can make that settled land if we so choose as people. The bet going on at the State House with redistricting is that you don't care. You don't care, and so why should they? And I think that when Hoosiers, voters, taxpayers, citizens, others know about the issue, they will care. And so we're on a mission to do that at rethinkingredistricting.com. I'll go into more detail later. Again, it's great to be with you, and I'm also glad to be with Lake County Sheriff Roy Dominguez.
Does everyone know about redistricting?
No.
Any questions? Would you tell us, Secretary?
You want me to go do that first? I thought I'd...
Well,
We can't hear you back here.
Sheriff, go ahead.
Could you use the mic? It's on flow.
Okay, just go ahead and tell us, Secretary.
Could we use mic, please?
The mic is not working, unfortunately, so we can stand if that's easier.
And there's actually a whole empty front row you can hear really well.
Yeah, if you'd like to sit, yeah, please.
Todd, you don't charge any extra, right, for the front seat?
No, it's all free.
All right, come on, folks.
If you want to use that.
And when Muslims pray, we pray the person over.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Together, right?
Roll that, roll it over there. Can you roll the card over? It's just
On the computer, it's-
This one doesn't work either.
Uh-oh. It's working a minute ago.
It was plugged into the phone.
No? No microphone that the
Okay.
secretary wants to use will work.
Todd's got a strong grip.
We're gonna lay it out. We're gonna lay it out here. In the United States, in our United, thank you.
Here we go. You didn't have to hold it that way, but just.
Okay, thank you. Oh, there we go. How's that? Better? Better. Thank you very much. Okay, starting again. In our United States Constitution, we have a requirement to take a census of all the people. It's not just an approximation. It's not just an estimate. We, under our United States Constitution, have to count everybody. There are a lot of reasons that that's being done now, but there's only one true one under our Constitution. And that is to make sure that we know how many people are in each state and in the country so that we can apportion ourselves roughly equally amongst each other when it comes to who represents us in Congress. We have a similar provision in Indiana State Constitution that does the same thing for the General Assembly. Like many states, Indiana has its General Assembly, its legislature, draw the maps on behalf of the people. Draw the maps means they look at the census data that's going to be done now in the next year. And in other states, sometimes that's all they look at. In this state, because it's the Wild West, we don't have any criteria whatsoever. And so they end up not only looking at population, but they look at the sheriff's voting history. They look at mine. They look at yours. And depending on how you and your neighbors have voted, you may get drawn in a district, or you may get drawn out of a district. And that's harmful to a democracy. That's harmful to a republic because that takes away your voice. In the last 8 years, 40% of the legislative districts at the State House went without a major party opponent. Not even a name of the opposite party on the ballot. They ran unopposed, 40% of them. And I can go to 2008, 26 House of Representatives out of 100 didn't even have an opponent. All kinds of data like that we can go. The point being is that they drew maps for themselves. And in a democracy, in a republic, it's the people who need to pick their leaders. You all certainly understand that. And not the leaders who pick the people. In Indiana, we have it backwards. So we have once every 10 years to get this thing right. And the bet at the State House is, you don't care. I literally had a legislator walk out with me last week, and he said, Todd, this issue of redistricting never even rises to the level of top 5 on any of our surveys. No one cares about this, why should we? Well, number one, they didn't ask the question. They didn't ask about, do you know what redistricting is and do you care? And number two, I think, and as we've been out for 6 weeks now in the state, I think citizens, voters, taxpayers do care. Especially when we have an era of tea parties, of town hall meetings, a Congress that is so arrogant they won't even put a health care bill on the internet. A 10-year-old could put something on the internet, and Congress won't show you the health care bill. And that's both parties. Republicans in the state and Democrats in the state have used this process that has no guidelines, no criteria to their favor. So what we've come up with is a plan. Criteria to be used the next time they draw lines, which is 2 sessions from now. I'm going to play for you a quick video because it's kind of fun to show you what I mean. Alex, can we get the lights too, unless it turns off the mic?
Classically dog with club foot.
That's the head, legs, and tail.
That's a dog.